First of all, let me say like, comment, and subscribe. And then, if you don't know who Salty Cracker is, check him out. He's got a great channel. So, I was on Twitter, and I found this, people were tweeting, and this came up to this article this Sharon Grisby wrote. Now, see if you can detect any bias in this article. In the world of English-dubbed anime grapevine resident Vic Mignogna is a voice to be reckoned with. He once again voiced fan favorite Broly in the latest installment of the Dragon Ball Z series. The movie made $22 million. It looked like it would be another can't-miss year for the actor. But the wildly successful opening also unleashed a torrent of chatter about the 56-year-old actor's long-rumored, alleged, inappropriate behavior, such as aggressive kisses. What the hell? What is an aggressive kiss? Is that on a different part of your body? Hugs and unwanted sexual advances with women. Dun dun dun. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that he's allegedly a heterosexual monster. He lost the deal with the Flower Anime Distribution Company. Conventions began to remove him from their lineups. Thousands of enthusiasts rushed to pick a side in the social media warfare hashtag #KickVic and I Stand With Vic. This fierce battle over Vic has become the first big test of the Me Too movement and the multi-million-dollar anime industry in America. Well, that's a unique qualifier. What makes the case unusual in this area is that Vic is digging in and fighting back in court. Heaven forbid he doesn't want to see his name dragged through the mud. Heaven forbid he wants a little due process. Let's go back to witch trials, why don't we? He's fighting back in court with a lawsuit alleging, among other things, defamation. So why do you list defamation, but you don't list the other things he alleged? Probably interference with business relations, advantageous business relations, something like that. He and his fervent fans... Now, when I saw that for the first time, I saw fervent fans. I thought, I'm detecting a little bit of bias in here. She's starting to shade the argument as his fans are nuts. This is what she's doing. Have labeled the allegations lies. Well, they're allegations. They're unproven. Exaggeration and ploys for attention. Some fans allegedly have harassed the accusers, posting online photos of their homes and vehicles and berating them in phone calls disguised as family and friends. Okay, if you make a statement like that, and I know it's pretty cheesy allegation, you're already painting Vic's side as a bad side. You're painting his fans as bad. So you say they allegedly harassed the accusers. Well, you're gonna have to provide some screenshots, some archives. You're a reporter. You gotta report. You gotta have some facts and evidence. Okay, you found the most unflattering photograph of it that you possibly could, but you found the most flattering photograph of the defaming, lying idiots that you could, as you'll see below. Vic, bolstered by a GoFundMe war chest, bringing more than $200,000 from his supporters. So he's got a lot of support. He's suing Funimation and two female voice actors and the fiancé. God, I forget that guy's name. He is so soy. Attorney represents Marchi. One of the women named in the lawsuit said in an interview that the significance of the case is even bigger than what can be put into court filings and arguments. It's the impact this case could have on this industry and certainly on our clients and the broader cultural changes and the impact a case like this has on the broader movement. Well, okay, the big picture doesn't matter. The due process for one person matters. How you treat this one guy matters. It's the most important thing. If you make an accusation, you have to prove it. Funimation declined to speak. Ty Beard did not respond to repeated phone calls, email messages seeking comment for this story, I'm sure. An effort to reach Vic through a convention was also unsuccessful. So what you're saying is you got a one-sided story. You got a completely one-sided story. You're going to have to be very careful in your writing, and so far you haven't been. Asked during his deposition about the perception that some he is a sexual assaulter, Vic responded, "There are an awful lot of fans out there who are really desperate for attention, so they make up stories about him sexually assaulting them to gain the spotlight." Kick Vic chorus begins, except you're not talking about who began the Kick Vic chorus. think it wasn't it a Facebook group or a Twitter group where well, we'll see. All three individuals targeted in Vic's lawsuit were among the scores of anime talent and fans who, beginning early this year, tweeted critically about the actor's behavior. The intent... Okay, here's the thing. You're talking about conventions. Everyone at a convention has... there's dozens of people live streaming. Everyone has a camera, and everyone has a high-definition video recorder. Everyone can record the stuff in 1080. You're saying all these kids have cameras, and they're recording. Some people have GoPros, and some people have cameras running the whole time they're there. You're saying all this stuff happened, and all these kids in line with high-definition cameras didn't get any of it. It doesn't have the appearance of truth. Tweeted critically about the actor's behavior, alleged, the intense fallout developed around a single anonymous tweet. Okay, well, an anonymous tweet, an anonymous accusation is not worth anything. You've got to have, if you believe in something, you're going to have to make an accusation. And, it's the concept of due process, the right to face your accusers. Otherwise, you get people being hung on accusations. A woman accused a man of a sexual battery. So what do? They hang the man. Young girls accuse women of witchcraft. So based on the young girl's testimony, the women get killed. Anonymous tweet. Broly opened in the U.S. Dragon Ball Super. Tweet said Vic was a homophobic, rude a-hole who has been creepy to underage female fans for over 10 years. Okay, if you call him homophobic, fair enough. Can you provide an example? Can you provide a date where he said something homophobic? And like I said, he does these little talks at conventions. Everyone has a video camera out. Simply show us a timestamp of video that where he allegedly said something homophobic. Being rude, well, a lot of these people are prima donnas. They're deeply up their own butt. And Vic definitely seems like one of those types of guys. He honestly seems like a pain in the butt, but you know what? A lot of people in this kind of Hollywood type industry are very, very much a pain in the butt. That's okay because they're making everyone money and they're having a good time. Voice actor Monica Rial retweeted the anonymous Han Leia accusation. Why? That's so cowardly. That's saying, it was probably her, right? It's an anonymous Han Leia. It's probably Monica Rial. Allegedly. The next day, she reposted 2 tweets by animation gaming aficionado Saucedo. She is Mars Girl with the long arms. I made a video about her a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that accused Vic of great volumes of sexual misconduct and urged Funimation to reconsider its hiring of him. Okay, so that sounds like defamation and tortious interference or interference with advantageous business relations. Yeah, the interference of a third party to a contract or prospective business advantage. Mars Girl, she's very shady. The Han Leia tweet, remember this is an anonymous accusation meant to destroy Vic because he's not on the far, far left-wing train, was reposted more than 4,000 times by kids who have no idea what's going on. They're just kids who are far left and they want to jump aboard it. Prompted more than 400 comments, including from, actually not that many comments, including from some who shared their own uncomfortable encounters with the voice actor. The Cake Vic course had begun. Years of whispers had finally accumulated in outcries. There's no video of any of this. Vic responded quickly in an online chat with his fan club. He reminded his legion of Riz M. Bool Rangers. I thought I don't know what the Riz. I thought when I heard it, I thought they were saying the word risible. Risible, not Riz M. Bool. So I wonder if I got it wrong or she got it wrong. Who knows? The rumors have been slung around for many, many years. None of these outrageous stories are true. I'll hug 1,000 people. 999 will say he's so kind and open and friendly with his fans, and one will say he hugged me too tight and it was creepy. Vic said during the chat, so it appears I'm going to need to revise the way I interact with fans at conventions. Yeah, it's absolutely true. If you go to these conventions, they're very touchy-feely places. People are hugging and giving kisses on the cheek. That's perfectly normal, and that is accepted, and that's accepted. Still, I would say I would advise nobody to hug anybody. Maybe if you're at a booth and you have a camera set up, honestly, I would take the Keanu Reeves approach and just say, no, I'm sorry, we just don't touch anybody. We don't touch anybody. We'll take a photo with you, but we can't touch. I mean, it sucks, but you have you have these idiots who have, like you said, 1,000 people will have a hug and a kiss and they'll be happy with it. But then you'll have a couple people who say, oh, I just wanted the hug. I didn't want a kiss on the cheek. So yeah, I would say if I was a public relations or if I was his attorney, I would say, you know what? It's not worth the trouble to hug people. Just from now on, I would have no contact. I mean, that sucks. That really sucks because conventions, they shouldn't be like this. There's a lot of hugging and that kind of stuff. But, all it takes is a couple of people, a couple of anonymous accounts on Twitter to destroy somebody's life. And a couple of not so, Mars Girls and Rial. Next day on Twitter, he called the growing accusations heartbroken. Post this denial. I'm not homophobic, not anti-Semitic, not a predator of any sort. Okay, 5,000 people are talking about this. He got 15,000 likes. So he's got a lot of support. That means people see him at conventions. They don't think he's a bad guy. He's just, he's kind of he's Italian. He's kind of fruity, kind of touchy-feely, kind of over, I don't know, emotive, physical, hand gestures. Italian, hot-blooded Italians. So, that's what they are. Several weeks later, Rial tweeted, "It happened to me." That sounds like a movie poster from the 50s or something. the 50-foot woman. I am only one voice in a sea of many. He's hurt enough people. He's a sick man and he needs help. I'm sure you'll post a video or photographs or something, right? Same day, fellow voice actor Marchie tweeted, "I want him to feel an ounce of the pain he's caused others," and then expletive choke on it. She tweeted details of an incident in which she said Vic violently pulled her hair in a tense office encounter. I believe that is the one that's on video. They have video of Vic. They have these videos of these encounters with Vic and these sociopathic lying whores who made claims, and then they show the videos, and they are just all over him. They are jumping in his arms. They have their arms all over him. And then suddenly, a couple years later, even though it's on video, they're saying, oh, no, actually, he assaulted me. You had your hands all over Vic. You're lying. We can see the video, you idiot. And then these idiots will watch the video and say, oh, no, she slightly turned her head away. And no, she didn't. She had her hands all over Vic. She wanted Vic. She definitely wanted Vic. And that doesn't matter because she was consenting to the physical intimacy. In most of the cases, she initiated the physical intimacy. Violently pulled her hair. Someone violently pulls your hair, call the police, and then talk to your boss. Vic said in his deposition, it was not painful, it was not hurtful, it was not sexual. So it sounds like these people had there's different levels of consent with different types of people. You have consent. Some people will touch each other every time they greet, hug each other, kiss on the cheek, pat each other on the butt, something like that. You know what I mean? Some people are very, very touchy-feely. If you don't like that level of intimacy, you just put your hand out and say, no, I'm not into that. I'm not into hugs. I won't say that if I ever go to a convention. You can hug me all you want. February 19th, Rial tweeted a lengthy post in which she alleged that Vic grabbed her in a hotel room and forcibly kissed her without her consent. Except that story has changed a little bit if you listen to Nick Rekieta's show. Rial said she's decided to go public with her account to put a face to the voices. Yes, thank God. Stop being these anonymous cowards. There's so many stories out there, but because there were these faceless voices on the internet, nobody wanted to believe them. Oh, hush, dog. Yeah, my dog is sleeping. She's having dreams. These past few weeks have been some of the hardest of my lifetime. If these past few weeks have been the hardest of your lifetime, then you live a goddamn charmed life. You don't know what hard times are if this is the hard times. These are not hard times. You have no idea what a hard time is. I pray to God you never experience a hard time because you'll be crushed under it if you consider this a hard time. These are gold-plated problems. You have no clue how stupid you sound when you say this is the hardest time of your lifetime. then you're telling me you've never experienced any tragedy. You're out of your freaking mind. No matter who you choose to believe, please be kind. That's why I believe facts and evidence in due process. Vic denied her account and said he could never recall an instance when she was even in his hotel room. Ron Toye, her fiancé, how long have they been fiancés? And is she sleeping around? Is she stepping out on Ron Toye? If you see Ron Toye, you know what I'm talking about. He's, I know the term soy boy gets tossed around, but if you hear Ron Toy boy, you hear him speak, you see his mannerisms, and you just look at him and think, no, that's not a man. Be a man. You're a man, be a man. Men don't act like this. You don't have to be 6'4" and full of muscles to act like a man, but you still have to. You can't act like Ron Toye acts. Ron Toye repeatedly used the label predator online in reference to Vic. Well, that's defamation. Said more than 100 individuals had made accusations of assault. Well, that's a defamatory statement of fact. It's a statement of fact. You need to prove it. And in court, you'll be asked to prove it. And if you can't prove it, I think you're in deep, deep trouble. That the allegations were corroborated and that there were mounds of testimony. Oh, Ron Toye, you've made these statements of fact. They absolutely have to be backed up, or you're gonna take a judgment. And I'm sure you're not judgment proof. Dowell's attorney, part of the team fighting Vic's suit, said Toye came to the defense of his fiancée, and his inclusion in the lawsuit is an attempt to break down the woman's support system. No, Ron Toye made defamatory statements of fact. Funimation severs ties. Yeah, they're a company. They just want to cut and run. They don't give a shit about this. They don't care about due process. They just want to sell their product. Amid the intense online pressure, started by whom, and blowback from Vic Mignogna's fans, no, his fans support him. He has overwhelming support. He has $230,000 of support. How much does Ron Toye's douchebag group have? Do they have $230,000? I don't think they do. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to see what their GoFundMe has started. Published stories about his behavior based on reports from mostly unidentified fans. Okay, if you have an anonymous allegation, it's not worth anything. You have to put your money where your mouth is and take a stand. It's a concept of due process. It had severed ties with Vic after an internal investigation. The statement included a few specifics, said we do not condone any kind of harassment or threatening behavior. Vic, who voiced beloved character Full Metal Alchemist, played Captain Kirk. That was surprisingly good. It's on YouTube. It was it felt like old Star Trek. It was weird. It was good. Actor said the loss of work seriously hurt him in the wallet. This is for remedies. He has a financial damages caused by their actions. According to the lawsuit, he attends a bunch of conventions, earns a lot of money. It definitely does. That sweet tax-free cash. Acknowledging his deficit. See, this is where people can actually get caught up in litigation, because I'm sure a lot of these people are taken in cash, and so for the purpose of damages, they want to make their damages as high as possible. But then if the IRS is paying attention and finds out, oh, you see, you made $1 million last year, but you reported to the IRS you made $400,000 or something. So it's generally better just to play it straight and get a tax attorney before you do anything. Way before you do anything. Tax attorneys are not. You do not hire them during the problem. You hire tax attorneys way before you anticipate litigation or anticipate issues. They will save you a lot of money. Vic acknowledged that people have commented negatively. Yeah, okay, so 12-year-old autistic kids are acting like idiots. Vic said that although he no longer intends to hug or kiss fans of any age, he disagreed with the lawyer's suggestion that kissing children on the forehead or cheek is creepy. It's not. That's what people do at conventions. There's photos of Monica Rial kissing a kid, and everyone looks at that and just they have no comment. What do you say to that? Yes, he's Italian. Hugging and kissing fans, that's perfectly acceptable. GoFundMe account that you already mentioned. Nick Rekieta, Minnesota lawyer, opened the account, but Vic said in his deposition he did not previously know Nick Rekieta. Vic also said he suggested he hired Beer as attorney. Why are you getting into this? You're kind of hinting that there's something shady going on. Nick Rekieta and Ty Beard, yeah, okay, he has legal representation. He has a GoFundMe. Even the GoFundMe, well, I guess it shows support, which is good. Vic's lawsuit alleges defamation, tortious interference, and other charges. Well, you should list all the charges, but those are the predominant ones. And from what I've read, just from a 30,000 view approach, yeah, absolutely. They absolutely defamed, and they absolutely committed tortious interference. Some of the stuff will depend on the state law where they're filed. I don't know where Tarrant County, I don't even know what state they're doing this in, but probably Texas, I think. During one of Rekieta's many online commentaries, I'm sure you saw one episode because they're like 3 hours. I can't even watch them. They're just too long. There's too many. There's too much content on YouTube right now. He explained his motives for pushing for the lawsuit. How about he wants to defend his name? Biggest one, I just don't like any of the defendants. I think they're terrible people. I want to see them ground into dust. Because when you lie to take away a man's livelihood, you deserve to be ground into dust. Oh, look at these pictures. Oh, damn, girl, you got fat. Wow. Monica Rial and Jamie Marchi. Okay, could you pose them any harder? Come on, this is just... You know what the subtitle of this should be? Stunning and brave portraits in courage. This is cheesy. Affidavits pile up, but the lawsuit opened Vic up to more accusations. Defense filing included 10 signed affidavits that accuse Vic of, at the very least, poor judgment. Okay. Statements, allegations from a teenager about Vic's unwanted advances in 1989. Ooh, things have to be timely. That's a long time ago. Memories, I don't know. Allegations from 2 convention staffers who allege he stalked a Japanese singer. Okay, then you have to have the Japanese singer herself make the allegation. Not, you can't have somebody, you got to have the person themselves. Come on. And a voice actor who says Vic aggressively tried twice to pressure her into having sex. 2008, 2010. Okay, aggressively tried twice. Hey, would you like to have sex? Hey, would you like to come up to my hotel room? Hey, why don't you come up to my hotel room, have a couple of drinks, and we'll get to know each other better. Or just, hey, flat out, let's go upstairs and have sex. How does that sound to you? That's not aggressive. That's, 2 adults consensually agree to have sex. This is what humans do. Believe it or not, humans enjoy having sex. A lot. You're at these conventions, you're at these hotels, you're not married. That's, how else are you going to have sex without asking for it, or at least inviting someone up to your room or something? To have sex, you've got to be in physical proximity. This is how adult humans make baby humans, by sex. The latest defense filing submitted Tuesday statements, twin sisters, that sounds hot, who alleged that when they were 22, Vic, in his early 50s, why does it matter how old he is? Are you trying to age shame him? Tried to coax both of them into having sex and forcibly kissing them during a 2015 Anima convention. 2 women say in their affidavits they shared their stories as part of the internal investigation. And forcibly kiss them? Somebody forcibly kisses you, pepper spray them. That's why you should always carry pepper spray. I don't understand that forcibly. If somebody forcibly kisses you, pepper spray them. You got to tell people this stuff is not acceptable if it happened. I'm not saying it happened with Vic, because I kind of don't believe it did. But it happens with anyone. Anyone kisses you? Anyone forcibly kisses me? You're out of your mind if you just let that happen. A hearing is set to consider the 4 defendants' anti-SLAPP motion in effect seeking a court ruling against what they believe is an unjust lawsuit. I think that's the free speech issue for the First Amendment stuff. For the purpose of censoring, intimidating, silencing critics, SLAPP stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation. Okay. Court will rule on each of the motions, and if the decision goes in the defendant's favor, plaintiffs must step up and show probability with evidence that he will prevail. He's going to prevail, and he's going to win the case, and he's going to get a hell of a judgment. Rial and Toya said the Texas anti-SLAPP was done to stop bullies from beating down people. No, you clearly defamed him and you interfered with contract. You proved it yourself in this article. Any first-year law student is going to read this and say you guys are in deep shit. Rial, who's lived in the Dallas area for about a decade, and Marchie, a North Texas resident. Okay, they're in Texas. So we know the Texas, or if you want to look up the Texas tortious interference stuff, I was looking up tortious interference in general, an old tort book. Texas has their own slight take on the rule, but you can look up the Texas specifics on Google. There are attorneys who will talk you through it. But it really looks like they did do it, and they did defame him. And they used anonymous accounts to do it. She says it's really hard, but she'd do it again. Not if you get a judgment against you. You wouldn't do it again if you're going to get a $2 million judgment. The greater good was way more important than either one of us in this. I'm standing up for so many women and victims who feel like they can't say anything. Rial and Marchie are kind of examples of the backlash. Okay, posting of private information, harassment. Okay, so can you post some information? Ew. Please don't include photos like this. Please don't. Lemoyne. Why would you even take a photo like this and you think it makes you look... Okay, if you're their attorney, put yourself in a suit and tie. And don't smirk. Marchie said the staff says they're constantly getting harassing emails. Well, yeah, you falsely accused someone and you defamed him. The Ron statement was over-the-top defamation. You know it, I know it, everyone reading it knows it. Hundreds of credible accusations. If you say there's 100 credible accusations, you need to produce 100 credible accusations. And they're going to ask him, under penalty of perjury, have you seen these 100 accusations? And I guarantee he's going to say, maybe it wasn't 100. Have you seen 50? Maybe it wasn't 50. Have you seen 10? Can you provide us evidence? Okay, Rial, with everything I've been through, the death threats. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. If you got death threats, that means you called the FBI, right? Right. And you have posts. You have some kind of evidence of these death threats, and you're working with the FBI, right? Probably not. Then we come to Tim Doyle, who is an interesting character. More on him later, because he has a little spat with Ethan Van Sciver, basically on that. Tim Doyle threatened Tug, his wife, and their children. Threatened them online for everyone to see. And then in a live stream, Ethan Van Sciver and a bunch of other people were talking about Tim, and he made a threat against Tim Doyle. I mean, there's no way around it. He was talking about, I don't know, a scene where you put a bag over somebody's head and you beat them with a soap or something. And I heard that, and I was just, Ethan, what is you doing, baby? Yeah, that's a threat of violence, and he fucked up. That's a big mistake. But Tim said he called the police, so police will talk to Ethan, and Ethan will talk to the police. But Tug probably called the police on Tim Doyle, because Tim Doyle's threat was actually, he made several threats, probably more actionable, but nothing's going to happen to either one of them, because the police are going to talk to him and find out, hey, you guys aren't serious, knock it off. Anyway, so this was the Dallas Morning News article that the article came from. Anime gets its Me Too moment with their stunning and brave portraits and courage. If you have a vagina, you are born stunning and brave. Okay, so it got 250 likes, and how many comments did it get? Got quite a few comments. Really should watch Nick Rekieta's stream. Get info before running with biased news. At least interview all sides. And know the woman that you're backing. Jamie Marchie. Here's the thing, person who doesn't matter. Go F yourself. Also, Jamie Marchi, ladies, whenever you're being ignored because you have an innie instead of an outie, oh, my vagina is so powerful. It's just, thank God I have a vagina. Just put on that crown of tiny dicks you got at that one bachelorette party and say, look, I'm wearing so many dicks. You're so edgy for a 40-year-old fat housewife. Also, Jamie, yes, they eat my waist up. Great example. That was effing hilarious. Look, you can't have it both ways. If she's a whore, she absolutely knows about backbreaking work. Find your narrative and stick with it. Being a whore is not that hard. It's definitely not backbreaking. Most of the time you just lay there and collect money. It's pretty easy. I see you are a delinquent of culture as well. Okay, so this guy, this soy boy Ben Lamoureux, it's not creepy for 56-year-olds. Why does his age matter? To kiss children who are strangers to them. This photo is kind of funny because they, I don't know if they post the real photo, the unblurred photo. It shows her, she wrote this article and she said the photo was a lie, and Vic was a very sweet guy. This guy, Ben, he really has a heart on. Wow. You gonna harass women over this piece of garbage? Yeah. Where's the proof? They're not. Someone should post a photo of the unblurred. Yes, using the photograph where the actual girls come out and said the story was fabricated and she loves Vic. Yeah, I personally saw it myself, and so Ben Lamoureux is lying. No, she didn't. That's a lie spread by Vic Stans. And even if it wasn't that girl, but it is that girl, she came out on Facebook or something and said this whole thing's bullshit. The point is, Vic, a 56-year-old man, says it's not creepy. He regularly kisses children he doesn't know, often without asking, as he admitted elsewhere. Like I said, he's at a convention. How can you say in the same sentence, no, she didn't, then say, even if it wasn't? That contradicts everything you said. Also, blocking him, then replying to make yourself look bigger is not the right way, dude. Have a conversation. Don't block them. It makes you look like a weak pussy. I presented a hypothetical. Okay, well, my hypothetical is that you molest puppies. How about that hypothetical? That's hypothetical, Ben. People at conventions. Monica, I accuse others of exactly what I do. Monica accused Vic of inviting her to a hotel room under false pretenses, then pinning her down on bed and shoving his tongue in her mouth against her will. Were you there? Get in focus, cheap. No, you weren't there. I wasn't there either. You're at a convention. You invite someone to your hotel room. What do you think you're going up there for? Huh? What do you think you're going up there for? I'm not saying, hey, you get to a hotel room and the mood changes and you change your mind. Hey, fine. You should be able to walk out the door unmolested. No problem. But 99% of the time, two people going to someone's hotel room means one thing. Come on, we're all adults here. This is what you do. That's the point of hotels, because having sex in hotels is so much fun. Okay. So these idiots, they actually he's getting more support here than funny how you attack Vic for kissing 22-year-olds on the cheek, forehead, which everyone does it, and you're not going after Jay Montello, who forcibly stuck her tongue down the throats of two 14-year-old minors. And unlike Vic's, there's actual video evidence of Montello forcibly face-sucking these two minors, and the minors trying to get away from her, but she kept pulling them back and grabbing them by the necks. I don't get it. Is that a woman? Is that guy in the middle a woman? Why are you using the female? That chick is into it. She's kissing him. She's not pulling away. If they're 14, I don't know how old this guy is. Is he 22 or something? Yeah, you shouldn't be kissing 14-year-olds. That's really weird. You kiss a 14-year-old on the cheek, that's fine, but they really kiss. I don't know who this guy is, but that is freaking creepy. Okay, yeah, so the point is they're hypocrites. They're obviously hypocrites, and they're just... Vic has got a lot of support. Nick Rekieta is doing an amazing job. Vic is innocent. He's a great guy. He loves his fans. One of the greatest voice actors ever. A devout Christian. I don't know how devout Christian he is, but I understand the concept that Christians sin and there's redemption for sin. It's a very cool part of Christianity. But, you know, Vic is a human being. I heard some of his testimony or deposition stuff, and yeah, he's definitely into having sex. He's a good-looking guy. Either he's single or he's in an open relationship. Good-looking guy, goes to hotels a lot with good-looking women. You're gonna have a lot of sex. That's kind of that doesn't make him a bad guy. Because, truth be told, most good-looking guys and good-looking women, and even if you're not good-looking, but you're in a place, you're gonna have sex with the people around you. That's, strap on a condom, get your lube out, and go have a good time. Monica Rial is a snake who said she was going to call law enforcement on all her fans that didn't go along with her. I'm destroying his career stunt, she pulled. Thanks for the tweet. I've screenshotted it and sent it to my attorney in law enforcement. I stand with Vic. Yeah, all his co-workers are jealous of him. Okay, you get the idea. He's got a lot of support. These kick Vickers are just insane. But this video has gone on long enough, so like, comment, and subscribe.